Hello everybody, this is Thomas here, and today I'm going to show you how to make a follow and collect mission. Um, so I'm going to open up the mission scripts that I had. L1M0, get rid of that guy, because these are from the previous video. Okay, let me save that, and then I'm going to replace this with a dummy stage. Okay, so now that we have the dummy stage set up and that all set up, so what we're going to also do is we're going to, in the template mod, go custom files, art, missions, level 01, L1M0.p3d. And I'm going to delete all but one of each type of locator just so we're at the same playing field. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch the game. Oh, I didn't realize I launched my mod by mistake. You know, I should really look at the stuff first before I go and start recording. Hey, that's the fun part. Alright, so let's go into hit and run. What I'm gonna do. So, for a hit and collect, what I'm thinking of doing is having a dump truck parked at the Quickie Mart, and we have to go and hit and collect all the beer from it. So first things first, we're going to make a type 3 locator, which are used once again. Type 0 locators are used for things for the trigger, like locations, object, like locations to like interact with, and type 3 locators are used typically for spawning things. So what we're going to do is rename this to M0 underscore duff loc, and we're going to click from game. And then what I'm also going to do is have mission 0 quick E. And what I'm going to do is have the player drive to the Quickie Mart. I'm going to have them drive here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the trigger be here, but have the locator here. What this does is this is going to move the car sphere to where it's at the Quickie Mart, like right in front of the store. But instead of that, we're going to do that. Okay, so now what we're going to do first is we're going to make the nav points for the dump truck. So we're going to do M underscore nav point underscore 1. And like I said in the previous video, it's a good idea to have different sets of locators for AI paths and objects. Sometimes you can reuse them, but it's generally a better idea to have multiple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the duff truck. They're going to go up to the school and then go back. I think that's a decent route. So from game, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the second one and rename it to 4, and then copy the first one and rename it to 5. So we have a loop. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make the locators for how many objects. So you're going to hit and collect. So you need to make type 0 locators. But the funny thing is that regardless of where the trigger is, and where you specify it as, it's still going to drop near the vehicle, but I'm just guessing the way it works is that you have to have something. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy one of the type 0 locators, and then we're going to rename it to M0 underscore duff and then underscore 1. Going to click from game and then from game, and we're going to make the trigger size smaller. We're going to have it be 2 by 2 by 2. And we're just going to copy this a bunch of times. I think 7's good. And then what we'll do is we'll have the player then drive back to the Simpsons house. So let me go to that one there. And what I will do is I will make the locator for it. I'll make the car sphere show up here. Mission 0 home from game, and then we'll have the trigger here in the road from game. Okay. So we have the components here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to adjust this. So first we're going to have go to and then game dot set destination M0 quickie. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to copy from no, I don't want to copy it from that one. Okay. I'm just copying a get in stage. Okay, and then we'll go to the Quickie Mart. So, what we're going to do is we're going to load a vehicle. And I know which vehicle we're going to load, so I'm just copying this from another script so I could edit, but it's going to be C, I believe it's C Duff. I'm going to look at my game folder, go to game, art, cars. Yep, it is C Duff, and the skeleton name matches. So, C Duff. Okay. So, and what we're going to do, and I'm going to go back to the mission script here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add the vehicle before the objective. So we're going to do C Duff. I'll still have Jasper driving it, and then we're going to change that to M0 Duff locator. And I'm going to change target to null. What this is going to do is this means that regardless of what AI is loaded, okay, the AI vehicle isn't going to do anything yet. And what I'm also going to do is I'm also going to interface with custom text. Okay, and then we're going to change that to 2. So drive to the Quickie Mart, hit and collect beer from the Duff truck, and then drive home and think about your life choices. So, what we're going to do for this stage, we're going to add that. We're going to add game.stage message index. We're going to change that to number 1, and that's what's loaded in custom text. So now, for the next stage, I'm also going to I'm going to steal this from here. I'm just going to copy and get rid of what I don't need. Okay, so we don't need the reset to here, or at least it's not going to go in that stage. And what I need to do is I need to go resources, scripts, missions, level 1. Okay, I'm going to copy that one so it's there. Okay, reset to here. So I'm going to change that to 2. Okay. So instead of having game.add stage vehicle, we're going to do game.activate vehicle. And I'm just going to look in one of my mission scripts just to make sure. Yep, it's game.activate vehicle. So with activate vehicle, you have 3 arguments. The first one is the name of the vehicle. So cduff. And then the second argument is what it is before, and the argument is what it is after. So we'll have the cduff, go from null, and then target. And the parameters, this is just used for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the timeout. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to do another for loop. And we have 5 nav points. Dot m0 nav point underscore, and then let me just make sure I'm using that correctly. Okay, and then it's .i. Okay. So this will save us some lines, and then we're going to do the same thing for this guy. We're going to, and the objective for hit and collect is dump. That's the, you can make all the jokes you want. Okay, so we're going to do m0 duff underscore, and then that one has .i. So what this argument is for add collectible, this is whatever object you want it to be. So we're going to have to load an object. So I'm going to look in the art missions. Trying to remember if there is one where you're actually collecting beer or not. I mean, if not, then I'll just improvise with something else. So you know what? For the purposes of this, I'm going to have it be Bone Storm and Bone Storm Explosion because it's crates. It's a crate that has a logo on it, but it's still a crate. So if I go to scripts, missions, level 01. Wait, no, it's already in here. What am I doing? So if I go to... So, we're going to add these guys. So I'm going to copy from here and paste into the load script. Okay, so we have the object and the object effect. So, that's how we're going to go about it. Alrighty. So, and I'm not sure, but I'm going to look and see in the vanilla game, art, front end, dyno load images, mission icons, vehicle. Nope, there's not one for a duff, but that's alright. And then I'm finally going to have a go-to that ends the mission. And to that end, we're going to type inside the parentheses for the last stage in quotations final. And then we're going to put home. Okay. So it should work. So what we're going to do is we're going to reload, close the game, reload, and then we're going to start again. Alrighty. Oh. Mission 0 meetup not found. Ooh. Do I have to mess with the load script? Oh, that's... Oh my gosh. That is so funny. So I have to make a I have to make a locator. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to comment this out. See, we all make mistakes. You know, you can't get upset, or at least, you can for a little bit, but like you make mistakes. There was a locator I had in the last mission, well, the last video, and I deleted it. I deleted it, so okay. So now we have get in your vehicle, drive to the Quickie Mart. Okay. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to drive to the Quickie Mart. And as you can see, the Duff truck is loaded. And now hit and collect beer from the Duff truck. Okay. See? Now you collected some beer. Beer. And because the trigger size is 2x2x2, it's, and just so you know, there is a limit of, I believe it's 32 collectibles in one stage. I think it's 32, something like that. But as you can see, I have it to where the player's collecting seven cases of Duff beer. And as you can see, despite the fact that we copy and pasted the same locator in the same location with just different name, you can see that this still works because of the way the game handles hit and collect. So now we just have to collect one more thing of beer. Okay. So now drive home and think about your life choices. So. Right. As you can see, a lot of what I'm doing is I'm taking existing mission scripts and I'm modifying them. All right, mission complete. We did it. So that right there is how to create a hit and collect mission in the Simpsons Hit and Run.